I've started the recording. Good evening, Ujjwal, and thanks for being a part of eCorner. eCorner is an initiative to introduce people, entrepreneurs like you, who are in their own ways doing something different and rather than going for run of the mill, are trying to chart out a different path. The idea is to take this work which you are doing, people like you are doing, to people who always keep on thinking कि something someday I should have my own venture, start something new, and then that is the start and that is the end of it. उससे आगे कुछ होता नहीं है. And then when they look back at their career, when they retire, probably अरे यार कर लेना चाहिए था, मजा आ जाता था. So many of us do hold that regret. So the whole idea of e-corner is to reach out to these people and tell them, hey, it is possible. And why is it that not, you have not giving it a try? So we will start basically with the Relecta, how the journey started. We'll come to Relecta a little later, but first, give us a brief background about you, how you started, or what is your work experience been so far?
Sure, sir. First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's really a pleasure to be here. And I would like to thank you very much for that, to be honest, because people like you who are very much interested in startups and people and knowing about them, their journey, it really inspires a huge amount of people as a ripple effect, I would say. So thank you so much for having me. Well, my name is Ujjwal Pushp. I'm from a place called Patna. It's the capital of Bihar. I moved out of Patna in 2014 to chase my dreams, learn as much as I could. And there was just one thing, which was I really wanted to do something different and something big so that, um, I just want to do it for myself and for nobody else because I had that ambition coming into me. And um, as someone who has flunked class 12th two times, I really had a lot of questions about the future and what am I going to learn. And slowly, and that's the beauty of life as well, that, it shows you the path. If you just be constant and persistent about what you really want to do, you can just be on that journey. And the life, that's the beauty of life, that it gives you the path, and you have to be smart enough to kind of see that, okay, this is the path, this is the opportunity, and you should take a plunge at it. So I started I studied business administrations, and my major was marketing. And I used to be very, very interested in businesses, brands, and no matter whatever brand or product you give me, I would be able to tell, okay, this belongs to P&G and this belongs to RB or this belongs to Unilever. Very much interested in marketing as well. And I used to follow Awaz India back then in 2011 or 12, I would say. They used to cover a lot of startup stories and people who are doing building businesses from scratch. That time, I did not know what entrepreneurship really is. I just was too curious to see these people doing something brilliant and different. And I think that was the time when they were covering Big Basket and few other startups from Bangalore. So it just used to intrigue me a lot. And that was never planned to sort of like be an entrepreneur back then. It's just that it was just my interest, okay, knowing about companies. So when I started pursuing my bachelor's, that's when I really felt that I'm not someone who really wants to learn from the books. Business is about meeting people, relationship building, and knowing about how a company functions. And what I was studying in my books and what I was being taught, all these things were basically something which people have read for about decades. And that was something which always kind of, it actually, it was a trigger for me to like seek out more. And just because I wanted to learn more and more, I thought, okay, the best way will be to pursue internships and see how it is actually being done in companies. So I started pursuing internships. My first internship was at Coca-Cola. Did a lot of sales and marketing there. I was not actually paid for any of my internships. I just wanted to say it out loud as well. And I've done so many different sort of jobs, like I remember when I was an intern at Coca-Cola during my first semester, I used to take orders from retail stores and go to like villages, take orders there. I have also lifted up the stacks and stacks of bottles and cleaned them up, arranged it in the fridge, and spoken to a lot of people. So that was something interesting for me. And that was the connection that I wanted to build from people directly and learning about the brands. And to be honest, when I did this on the ground with people who are dealing with the right target audience and on the ground, that's when the entire learning came up. There were people who actually were training me back then. I would say these were market developers, and these people, they are great at their jobs, and they have simple bachelor's or maybe 10 class 10th pass or class 12th pass, but the amount of knowledge that these guys have in the industry, it's just amazing. I mean, I learned so many things from these people that I was taken aback that what am I doing? I'm studying books, and it was, I mean, should have been never possible to study all these things from the books. So that journey kind of, wanted me to seek out more internships. And I never put this barrier in my life that if I'm not in the last year of my college, I should not be pursuing internships, because most of the colleges
Yeah.
ask you to pursue internships when you're in your sixth semester.
And that's a standard protocol कि
Correct.
आप internship करोगे last year में करो या before you come to last year, so you stay
Right,
stuck,
right.
otherwise you don't even bother to think about it.
Right, right, absolutely. But this is what I would want to tell all the students basically who are watching us, that listen, if you really want to do something, if you really want to learn something, just go out in the industry, in the market, on the ground. It's fine if you don't get paid for the internships. The knowledge that you're going to get from there is going to multiply as a monetary value for you later on, maybe after you graduate, something which happened to me. And since I did not put this barrier of seeking out internships from the first semester, this actually motivated me a lot in indirect ways as well. When I was in my college, many students, my juniors and my fellow mates, they used to speak to me about, hey, you're pursuing internship right now. What's the need of that? I mean, we are supposed to do that later on. I said, no, I mean, I want to like do this. So that kept me going. And my second internship at Zoomcar, again, got a brilliant chance to work with Zoomcar in Bangalore. And um, I was working as a marketing intern. And this has a very interesting story, because there was something which launched in Zoomcar, which was like a fractional, you can buy a car, like a fractional ownership of car. So you didn't really don't have to like buy the car and spend a lot of money. You can just lease it out, use when you want, or when you're not using, you can give it to Zoomcar and they will utilize it. So I was given the job of speaking to about, I used to have a lead sheet of about 1,000 people, and I used to make about 120, 150, 160 calls. And when I see people right now who are working in their first jobs, and they say, I really don't like my job because, I have to make so many calls. I am not able to make these many calls. And I was like, what? This is how you learn. Maybe this
You
is
feel
not your true call.
stagnated.
Yeah. I mean, maybe this is not your true call. Maybe you should seek out for something else, do something else. But for people who really want to get that job of interacting with the real customers, and you start building up or realizing how people talk, it helps you to understand. Like when I was in my first year itself, I learned something which still today I'm not able to understand, or I don't know whether it is still taught in the schools or not, which is the stage of a lead, right? You have cold leads, you have warm leads, you have
Yeah.
qualified leads. This thing never came up in my books. Maybe I wouldn't have paid attention, but if it did, I don't really remember it. But I understood this when I was pursuing this internship, and a lot of things like thinking about, out of the box marketing, how to actually feel the real pain of someone and then capitalize on that, or build some solution on that, right? It really happens when you speak to a lot of people. And this is what happened at Zoomcar as well. So I worked with two amazing people who were working for the marketing department, and they taught me the entire things. I mean, they did not like arrange it in a platter and give it to me. Like I had to like literally suck all this information out. But it's just that particular interest of learning at the company was something which kept me going. And again, like as a human, I mean, I used to be very be proud of that as well, that okay, I'm working at a company as an intern, and used to post pictures of my laptop with a coffee mug that I'm working at. So
I think as Zoomcar at that point of time must have been its early days. If I'm
yes, so it was 2017, January of 2017. Sorry, December of 2018 when I started, and I finished
okay.
my internship in January 17. So got a chance to meet Greg Moran, who happens to be the CEO and founder of Zoomcar. Saw a lot of people. It was just something like it was a dream come true to like, you are wanted at a company as an intern. That used to be the biggest thing for me. So yeah, but these two internships basically, it was set in my mind that this is what I really have to. Maybe I'm on the right path now, and then I'll also share that right after Zoomcar, like I got a lot of eyeballs in my college, and many students, many juniors, and many professors, they started recognizing me as well. Um, and that also gave me a huge motivation to like do more and more. And that was the time when I was set in my mind that, because I used to be very active on LinkedIn. I mean, I created my account way back in 2014, I guess. Then I used to spend about 7-8 hours on LinkedIn on a
Oh,
daily basis. Yeah.
that's
And
quite early in your career.
yes, yes, it is. It is.
Uh,
And I would say whatever happens, happens for good. So my college, due to some dispute, it was closed for about 2-3 months. And that is the time when everyone started going home, and I was the only one left alone in my apartment. And um, because of all these internships and meeting a lot of people, I thought, okay, let's see what LinkedIn has. And I started spending a lot of time on LinkedIn, stalking people, I would say. Like literally, I used to stalk people there. And by
what is it
stalking,
that you are up to now?
sorry,
आप क्या कर रहे हो अभी LinkedIn में? What is it that you are up to? Is that what you are following?
right now,
No, earlier in those days when you're stalking
yeah,
people.
I'll just cover that. So my agenda was set. I wanted to land up uh, at a good company with a good salary, and quite early, which means I did not want to pursue masters. I did not want to pursue MBA, the MBA, and then start working at companies and start earning money. My agenda was to get hired while studying. And LinkedIn, on LinkedIn, you have so many people, great people, who have put in their life journey on it, which means you can track the person year by year, that from this year to this year he studied at this school, then this college, then this company. Then if there used to be, if I found a gap in between, then I used to see the work experience. Okay, this guy utilized this time by interning at this company. And few people, I came across few accounts where these people got hired at the company they were interning at. And that was it. I thought, this is what I want in my life. I want to get hired as an intern and then get placed in the same company as well, so that I don't have to look around
Keep
for
switching.
jobs. Yeah.
Good.
So that gave me a lot of, I would say, strength, because, and I always will give credit to LinkedIn for sure. It's a great platform if you know how to use it. So on LinkedIn, I followed a lot of people, saw their journey, and that is how I came to know about a lot of certification course, or a lot of courses which were not the orthodox method of learning, like your bachelor's, master's, PhD, and things like that. There were a lot of specialized courses from different colleges that actually helps you to learn more. And their teaching style is very different. It's not bookish at all. It's very practical, and hence it is a certification course. So gave me an exposure to learn about the various sort of opportunities that are there out there, and what better platform than LinkedIn, where you have so many people pursuing so many different things for themselves, but it is creating an impact on people who are actually looking up to them as well. So, interestingly, what happened is I was very much into getting this internship. I did not know what internship I want, but I just knew internship with a PPO. And it was 2017 January end, yeah, when I just left Zoom car, that I started seeking out for internships on LinkedIn, sent about 800 to 900 emails to HRs for internship, to be honest. uh,
I really appreciate that fact, 800 to 900, because you know what happens these days, students or many of the people who are trying to tap into LinkedIn, what they do is, you know, of 10, 20 here and there, and they say, there's no response, just forget it, nothing is happening.
correct. That's the thing. So I don't know, something had gotten onto me that, I literally need a break. And I just started seeking out for like so many emails from here and there, contacting with people, asking them to refer me, and things like that started back in college itself. So um, I was not doing for the latter 2 months. And I remember I had applied to ISEC in 2015 itself. And
Okay.
I got a call in 2017 May.
Oh,
So right, so now these guys called me and they say, hey, we saw your application, you wanted to get an internship at ISEC. We are actually hiring right now, so would you be interested? I said, yeah, definitely, please tell me. So they said that we are organizing one startup summit, where it is going to be a pitching event. I did not know what a pitching event was back then. And we want you to organize it, and you have other teams as well. So it was in Bangalore itself. So I went there. I I had exposure to, and that time my agenda was, okay, it's an event where a lot of startups are going to come. A lot of individuals who are angel investors or VCs, they are going to come, and maybe other people who are working at companies, they are coming in and just watching what people are doing in the startup community, right? My agenda was set. I was good at networking. My agenda was go there, get as many
okay.
visiting, sorry,
Network as much
yeah,
as you can.
get the as many visiting cards as I could. And right now I have a pile like it's two. I have about two business card holders, and it's just like I begged for them. So my agenda was to get it and shoot cold emails that, okay, we met at this event. I want to intern at your company and things like that. And I met good people over there as well. But um, there was something else written out of that particular event. And it was, since I was looking out for international internships. And by the way, I also got selected at one company in Malaysia for an international internship. And I was very happy that, okay, I'm going to Malaysia, will get the internship there, and it will be amazing. But for some reason it did not work out. They did not have no longer had the requirement. So anyway, I mean, when I went at this place, I had in my mind, I need an internship, and an international one right now. I really want to see what's happening on a global scale. So I saw three people at this event, and this event was a formal business event. So everyone was in their suits, and very formal people. And I noticed three people who were in their black t-shirt. One guy had like tattoos all over, and it was written "We Work," and at the back it was "Do what you love." And that was very intriguing for me. I just couldn't buy this thing that what are these people doing
Doing at a formal business
at a
event.
formal business event, and what is this company about? We work. What is we work? Yes, we work, but what is we work? So I googled WeWork and got to know that it's a co-working space provider based out of New York. And there was no signs of WeWork being situated in India. And I thought, okay, it's a US company. I saw three people here. There are no signs of people, the company in India. So what are these two people doing? Three people doing? And by the time I could have gone and interacted with them, they had already left the event. And then I started my LinkedIn thing. I searched on LinkedIn who are people working at LinkedIn in Bangalore or in India. Saw a lot of profiles, and I had this thing in my mind that okay, this company is new in India and it's coming up. Maybe I would have, I can get a chance. Maybe like let's ask. If you don't ask, the answer is always
Answer
no,
is yeah.
right?
No
So
harm in asking.
right. So I went on LinkedIn, and I used to be very interested in marketing. So I started searching for people who are in the marketing domain. And interestingly, Sangeet Samuel happens to be a great friend. Now is much older to me, but happens to be a great friend, a great individual, a very helpful person as well. So I saw his profile on LinkedIn. It read marketing and sales or marketing and operations at WeWork India. And I was okay, let's connect with this person and see whether I have a chance of interning at this company or not. I sent the request got accepted. But then I texted and I think I did not get a response. And this was the same day, like within 2 days itself. The day I sent the request, I waited for about 2 3 hours, and there was something about WeWork website that it was a cool place. Like the office space is amazing, and co-working back then was, I mean, I did not even know about what co-working is, um, and I was like, wow, this is a beautiful place. I really want to do something here. But I was getting very impatient. I really want to speak to Sangeet. And I thought, okay, what to do now? So I went on WeWork website. I got up the helpline number, which is one starts with 1800. And I thought, okay, let's do one thing. I already know the person I want to speak to. Let's call this number up and ask for Sangeet. I called up this number and I said, may I speak to Sangeet? And the other side's like speaking. so, so, and then I got so nervous. I was like, what am I going to, I mean, I did not have my thoughts structured in my mind that, okay, what if, I did not know that, okay, I'll be getting connected to this person directly. But I said, hello, sir. Good afternoon. My name is Ujjwal. I'm studying at this college and I want to intern. And he said, intern. Okay, sure. Let me call you tomorrow. And he really called the next day, and that's what I loved, that there has to be something good about this company, or the culture is amazing, right? So the person who's working at this company said that he will be calling, and he did. That was the biggest thing for me. And he called and he said, hey, I'm sharing my email with you, why don't you send your CV? And in about 3 days I was at their office and I got interviewed for this marketing position. And uh, Rishika Basappa, he happens to be, she was heading marketing, and she interviewed me with the HR, and things worked out well. And then I joined as a marketing intern. And then, I mean, I still remember, like, it was 5th June 2017 when I took the first step inside the temporary WeWork office, which is right now in Bangalore, WeWork Galaxy. It's on the Residency Road. And I took the first step inside the office. Temporary offices were on the terrace with a makeshift toilet as well. So they were still coming up with the building. And I was like, this building is not ready yet, and it's going to take a lot of time. And while I was going on the top floor to meet these people, I spoke to the laborers, and this is something which I usually do as well, like speak to security guards, laborers, and housekeeping staff. It really, feels good to me and feels good to them as well. So I asked them, क्या लगता है आपको कब तक ready होगा? And they say, अभी तो 2 3 साल लग जाएगा. And I was like, okay, 2 3 साल ठीक है. So I just did not know. Okay, but I said, okay, let's see what they have. The first step I took inside the office, I saw people smiling. I saw people laughing. I saw music being played at the office. I saw so many people in groups, hanging out. And that was like, I really want to work at this place. It was so good. It felt so nice. And then comes the materialistic part back then, now not anymore, but I saw MacBook, Apple iPad, and all these things. I was like, I really want to work here. I want these things. So, but then I was an intern, and that's how I got a chance to work closely with the entire team, and Karan Virwani as well, who is the CEO of WeWork in India, and the director of Embassy Group as well. Um, and that person is unique. That person really has to convey message in a very different way. I mean, it's just that, you be in front of him or near him, that person induces something, and you have to catch it. Like, you cannot miss out. Um, like, you have to understand that a person who is so rich and has a lot of resources, I mean, when you speak to him, you won't even figure out that who this person is, that he has so much with him. Extremely down to earth, and he gave me the platform back then to, and I was an intern and still in college, and he gave me the platform to really learn and grow. And I used to get included in all the meetings, even the CXO level meetings. Right back then, we all of us used to like have joint meeting sort of thing, and that really made me feel special, that they are giving so much to an intern. Imagine how much they are going to give to the employee. And the first building was still not ready then, and I got to know that the building is about a month more to launch. And my internship was getting over on 28th of June, or yeah, June, and the building was going to open on 3rd of July. So last week of my internship, so during my internship, I even used to distribute t-shirts, to be honest. Like, take t-shirt, take the size of people who are working, and then distribute it as well. But I love doing it. If that was something which I was supposed to do there, I love doing it. I got exposed to digital marketing, advertisement, and then Rishika happened to tell me, and I was an intern, so I did not have much work or more responsibility. So Rishika asked me that if you are free, you can also help this person who is running operations, and he's actually handling everything alone. So why don't you help him? I said, yeah, definitely, why not? And I met him. His name is Amit Thakur, and I met him. Great person, and he told me, okay, tomorrow we are going to meet this vendor, and you have to negotiate. And I said, okay. So I did not know what I was up to, but yeah, I got to travel in the company car, and all these things used to be like huge thing for me. Travel into the company car, meet people who are in the industry for about decades, and um, deep within, I was like, yeah, this is what I want, and I really want to do this. So we work in India back then, 2017, when things were, I mean, scattered and still coming up. That was the perfect timing, I would
To be
say,
a
like,
part of it.
to be a part of that journey. I was the first 15, 20 employees to get hired. So I'll tell you how I got hired as well. So when I was finishing, then Mr. Amit came up to me and he said, I have a news for you. And I did not know what news that was. So he said, Karan Virwani wants to hire you. And I said, wow, what? That's big.
अभी MacBook आएगा.
अभी MacBook आएगा. And wow, MacBook and iPad and all these things. I was like, okay, sir. So he's like, अभी बात चल रहा है. He's impressed with your work and he wants to hire you. Said, okay. And then in about 2, 3 days, I think 2 days before Galaxy was opening, Karan was standing and Amit just took me to Karan and said he has to leave. His internship is getting over. And he said, why are you leaving? Like, why don't you leave your college? uh, these were his exact words. Why are you leaving? Why don't you leave your college and join us? I said, I want to come back to this company. My college has a provision that, in your last semester, you can, if you get an internship or a job, you can work there and not just come and write your exams. So I was in my second year, but it was not possible. So I said, okay, we have this provision at our college, but I don't know whether it will work out as I'm in my second year, but let me go and speak to them. So I went to my dean and spoke that, see, I think I'm going to get a job, and I think I need to, join this company, and I won't be able to continue with my studies here. Is there any provision that, I can get that leverage, or I can utilize that thing over right now? And they said, get us your offer letter and we'll see. So I still did not know what is going on, but that was time when I just couldn't fathom that what is happening with me. Maybe everything was, paying up. And I went back to the company and said they need an offer letter, and we negotiated, and somehow things worked out. And I gave my offer letter, and then I gave my offer letter. The dean had a look at it, and then he looked at me and he said approved, and that was it. So he told me that usually the midsem is 50 marks and then final is 50. Then we take the aggregate, and that you'll be writing your exams for 100 marks. And you don't need to come to the college. You just come and write your final exams. You'll be judged on the basis of 100 marks. Now, things were going great. I mean, there are so many stories from WeWork that, and I still give my all of my learning credit to the company, and I will always give that, because that gave me a chance to learn, build, and run something from scratch. And I am proud to say that I set up their entire India operations, and ran it as well, with the head of the operations. So when I worked, and when I was going to write I took some 5-10 days leave for my examinations. And this is where the crux, I mean, this is where the real impact kind of came up. I did not attend one single lecture in my third year. I went to write the final exam of my fifth semester. I did not prepare anything, to be honest. I got the slides. I just quickly, flipped the slides, um, and that too one day before the exam, or I would say 2 or 3 hours before the exam. Um, and when I went, saw my question paper, magic had happened. Literally, magic had happened. I was so much into the work that I did at WeWork, and the process, and the people that I met, the relationship, everything. I wrote all those things down in my question answer sheet. I did not study anything, but I got the question, related it with my work experience, and wrote the answer. And I passed with distinction.
Oh, good, fantastic.
And that was the magic. So, what I really, the message over here is, you really need to go out in the market, on the field, on the grounds, roll up your sleeves, meet as many people as you want, learn from them, always have the learning ability, the capacity, and then the benefit somehow comes into the picture, either monetary or something else, but it always, like, the benefit always comes up. So had a pretty entrepreneurial journey at WeWork for about 3 years. Roles changed over the period of time. Um, it was a great, lovely experience. Then after 3 years, um, I wanted to like get onto the journey of building something from scratch again. So I joined a very early stage company, and I thought that, okay, I'll get to live the same journey again. And that was journey of hustling, getting things done. This is what I wanted. So I moved out, joined a new company, and uh, there I served for about 7 months. And um, throughout 2019 and 2020, or I would say, yeah, 2019 and 2020, the startup journey
Usually your voice,
sorry.
yeah, your voice was not audible.
Is it fine now?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, great. So 2019 and 2020, the startup, because I was at WeWork, visiting a lot of offices, a lot of people, saw the startup, the hustling. It's a great environment. I think the environment at WeWork, that's something which, it had gotten on to me, and it exposed me to a lot of people, a lot of startups. And I remember when I started reporting into the so we had a new head of operations who joined from the US, and his name is Nathan Ashker. I learned so many things from him. I cannot put that into words, but that person taught me a lot of things, gave me a lot of platform to learn over and over, again and again, gave me so many different platforms to learn. And he believed in me. So I remember the first, I think it was the first performance appraisal meeting that I had with him. And we were basically told that, you know, uh, your entire years of work, just write down what are your accomplishment and your superpowers and stuff, and you speak to your manager. And I had never done it with someone who was out of the country, and he had a very good managerial style as well. So we were speaking, and whenever I was working, I was always in this zone of thinking that, am I doing the right thing? Am I literally meeting the expectations? Although I was loving what I was doing, but this question always had in me that I don't know what Nathan thinks about me. I don't know what is in his mind. And that was the day when, things came up that, when I told him about, okay, these are things that I have done, and uh, accomplished this, and he agreed to all of them. And then later he just took a back seat, and then he just relaxed, and he said, um, out of my superpowers, I think back then I had written altruistic, tenacious. I don't remember the third one, but then Nathan says that I think you are entrepreneurial, and that was it. I did not know what he meant by this word, because in my mind, entrepreneurs, business, solving a problem, doing things, building a business, and I was maybe an entrepreneur, but I did not know what he means by that. But then again and again, it just came up to me that, you have built things from scratch, you have ran it, you can do this. And so working for, since I was in marketing and I moved to operations, that gave me the chance of looking beyond the things. If you have a phone here, then what is the backstory of the phone? How does it work? And then entrepreneurship starts, which means you can take this product and engineer it backwards. Think about all the people who are associated with this, all the processes, all the timelines, and then you see the problems. And then you take those problems and you build something from scratch. New business comes up. So that's how things started. Now, moving forward, I always had this eye to look beyond the things. And this is the course which I took at MIT that also basically briefly talks about look at the innovations behind the innovation. And that's when you really develop the eye to look at opportunities and do something about it. Look at problems, take them as opportunities, and do something about it. So that's something which started, and I finally decided to let's just
Give it a try.
take a plunge at it and give it a try, because all through my years, all through the college and the entire journey, and a lot of credit goes to my parents and my family back in Patna. And like there is a balance that was created in mind between my father and my mother, and they have motivated me. And I would say I was just extremely fortunate to get that sort of parenting at Patna. Now, mentality is very different everywhere. And people in our families, people in our extended families or neighbors, is just one thing: engineering, IAS, medical. Um, and I can say this with a lot of confidence that my parents really had that shield to not let these things affect me and my brother. And I cannot be more grateful to them. It's just something which I've been very fortunate. Um, and that that benefit of that parenting kind of, it trickled down to both me and my brother. My brother happens to be the world's youngest fellow of the Royal Astronomical Society.
Oh, wow, fantastic.
And this guy did everything from Patna, sitting at his home. He he challenged this, like he discovered something. He gave a new theory to the black holes properties, I would say. And he got recommended by Sir Lord Martin Rees, who is in UK, and he happens to be on RAS as well. And so this is what happens, right? I mean, for the parents that the parents who are watching us, um, just set your kids free. Like, don't worry about them. Just don't worry about them. Have a leash, but a longer one, and let them go anywhere they want to go. When they are wrong, just hold them tight and tell them why it is wrong or but don't actually confine their opportunities. Everyone is unique. Everyone has their different style of doing things. They're different. They are into their different time zones. Like, your chapter 1 cannot be compared to someone else's chapter 10. Have the shield in front of them. And this is the exact same thing which happened with me as well. And I cannot stress more upon this, but I'm really, really very grateful to my parents for doing that for me, and for my brother as well. And I remember that when I flunked class 12 two times, the first year I was home, I was preparing for ITJ. But the second year, all my friends, everyone was moving to Bangalore. And I was like, I really can't study the same thing again and again. This is not I want. I used to feel very, very I just can't explain that. I mean, it was very different sort of feeling that my friends are enjoying, they're in college, they're out, and here I am,
I'm
flung this thing again, right? And what will I do? And I told my father that my friends are going to Bangalore. I think I I cannot be here anymore. I really want to go there as well. That was a time when I was still kind of, understanding my father, because I've had a very strict parenting as well. But it was always a very different sort of a parent. I don't know the exact word for it, but I did not know how he would respond. And he said, okay, change of place is necessary. If you think that you need to go to Bangalore and live there, go ahead. And it was amazing. So that's the thing, right? When you're set free, and when you're on your own, you have to be very confident about yourself. And the reason why I brought all these things up, because right from that time onwards, I just trusted my gut. Every time I trusted my gut. Your brain is structured in such a manner that there is something which is a reactive thing, and there's something which is proactive thing.
no,
So yeah.
yeah, this thing, na, it's very important because I've seen a lot of my friends, their perspective towards understanding life and how they looked at life changed when they moved away from home. And
Right.
that sense of being on your own and having to take care of a lot of things.
Right.
I have got friends who learned cooking, learned to wash their own clothes.
Right.
And I'll tell you a very interesting story about one of my friends.
Please,
He
please.
was like, he's married now, obviously. बोले जब शॉपिंग करने जाता है तो more than my wife, I am the one who is looking at prices. मतलब इससे
Oh, that's
yeah,
amazing.
that's what precisely happens, as you rightly said.
Hmm.
So
So
it's
that's the thing, right? I mean, just imagine, just think. And everything, all these things are related to entrepreneurship. And I will try to link all these things. So when you're on your own, you have nobody else around you, and you are on your own, which means you're responsible for whatever you are doing, whether good or whether bad. That's the time when the voice, बोलते हैं, अंदर की आवाज आती है, that comes and it tells you अगर नहीं करोगे तो कहीं के नहीं रहोगे, right? And that was the thing, right? I have to do it. And since then I always trusted my gut. And I, even till today, if I am in a dilemma, I either talk to my parents, but the very first thing, even before that, what I do is I ask myself, what do you think about it? And the answer comes in one snap, because your body, your mind, your subconscious thing knows that
Tuned.
it is the right thing. So even before starting the entrepreneurship journey, the entrepreneurial journey, I, although I had all the confidence and people were saying, hey, tum kar sakte ho, but still you are
Yeah,
kahin to
it's a
wo,
totally different thing actually to be in the thick of things and then to have the confidence कर सकते हो कर रहा हूँ are
right,
two different things.
right. But उस समय में क्या होता है, when you hit the reality कि अब तो बात आ गई, you are on the verge of it, अब हाँ है या ना है,
ना है.
तो देयर यू हैव पीपल, वो आवाज एको करता है कि भाई तुम तो अच्छे हो, तुमसे हो सकता है, तुमने ये किया है, बट वो कहीं एक छोटा सा डाउट रहता है. दैट्स द डाउट दैट यू हैव टू ओवरकम. इट्स ऑल अबाउट ओवरकमिंग दैट डाउट, एंड दैट डाउट इज very easy to clear off if you trust your gut, which is, do you think you can do it? The answer comes, yes, I think I can do it. Do you think that if you don't have a source of income from tomorrow onwards, will you be able to live and do things on your own? Do you have a plan B? The answer comes yes. And at the same time, you have to figure out about the worst case scenario. कि अगर by chance, if nothing works out, if you are, if you just have 1 rupee in your account, what are you going to do? I had the answer to that as well. I said, it does not matter if I live in a shack or I come home and live here again, which I have lived for about 20 years. I don't mind doing that. So that's when I said, yes, I'm ready for the worst case scenario. And when these three things came together, said, okay, let's go for it. And then it started. So the first step is always the hardest step. And by first step, I mean to say, do you think, or does your gut say that yes, you can do it, or no, you cannot? Does that. For
That's
people,
the inflection point we can say.
100%, 100%. And there, for people जिसके अंदर से ये आवाज आ रही है कि नहीं, अभी नहीं, trust that as well, because you know it deep within, no matter how many people are believing you or you're confident enough, but there's something which is still lacking in you, and you know what it is. Maybe if you don't know, so if your gut is saying no, it is no, then figure out what are the things that you need to work on that, and then work on it. So for people who are getting a yes from their gut, go ahead. For people who are not getting a yes, इसका मतलब ये है कि on the
Go ahead
face of
and explore more. That's a
explore more,
very
yeah, explore
good
more,
point. Yeah.
explore more. And then that's the first step that you have taken. And after that, life is beautiful. It is always beautiful, but even after that, life is beautiful when you're on your own.
Now, Ujjwal, question for you is how you, when you are ready, which area to choose or work into? How did that happen, or how did Relecta as an idea was conceived? That I have got 10 options. The 10 message. This is what I would like to do.
Mhm.
How did that happen?
Sure, sure. So I would say it's an amazing question, because ये तो पता चल जाता है कि अब entrepreneurship करना है. किसी को maybe they get their first idea and they say, okay, this is the area that I want to work on. But for people who think that yes, I can be an entrepreneur and I want to do this, but they're not sure about the space, they should take some more time to figure out what's going on in the world, right? But there is one back step to it as well, and I would like to share a learning from um, my course from MIT. I got a chance, we as a team, as the whole class, got a chance to get lectured by Eric von Hippel. So he's the son of Arthur von Hippel, who was a great physicist in the US. And Eric von Hippel grew up at MIT while Arthur von Hippel was teaching. And so just understand that person's upbringing, right? So many great people he was surrounded with, and he happens to be an expert on user innovation. So there are two types of innovation, and entrepreneurship is directly linked to these two. One is user innovation, and second one is producer innovation. Now, if you have your own problem and you think that you need a solution to it, and you develop something on that, that's user innovation. Most of the times it happens, but वहीं एक full stop आ जाता है, because you have survived, I mean satisfied your own needs. But then that entrepreneurial bug tells you that, see, you are the person who is experiencing this problem, but do you know how many others are experiencing this problem? And that's when it's your decision whether you want to go ahead, solve it on a larger scale for people who are experiencing it or not. Great example for user innovation is the Q-tip, uh, the earbuds that we use. So I forgot the name of the lady, which is very bad. I should not, but I have not been very good with names. I remember your name though.
Thank you for that.
So uh, this lady, she was trying to clean her kid's ears, taking out the wax. And what she used to do is that take a toothpick and roll a cotton bud on it and then use that. Her husband saw this and then he made Q-tip. Similarly, GoPro was invented or made because this guy was surfing and wanted to click pics when he was surfing. So surf करने time कौन picture ले सकता है? So he stuck his camera on the surfing board, and that's how it began. I think there are other examples. There are more examples to it. Skateboard का एक skating board का एक जो पहले wheel आता था, that used to be a, I think, wooden. I think did not support it much. Then this person went out on a vacation, met his friend, and saw his father's garage, जहाँ पे his friend's father was making something out of uh, a polymer, if I'm not wrong. And then he thought, okay, let's use this in the skating board wheel. And then that, I think, Carter wheels, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, Carter wheels. Then that invented Carter wheels. So user innovations are the best entrepreneurial, worth investing into, and the best for entrepreneurs to kind of take a journey on. If you are feeling a problem, that's, and if you really want to solve that for yourself, you'll go, I don't know how many, you'll walk so many miles to solve that problem. But then think how many people are there in the market or in the world who are experiencing the same thing. And once you get to the number of people who are experiencing it, think about the frequency. How many times do they feel this problem? Who are the right people to talk to? And just speak to as many users as you can. That's the user innovation part. Now the producer innovation, basically build what your customer sort of wants. Coding classes, all right, let's do this. You start up a team, talk to users, build a smart product, sell it out. That's producer innovation. I would say most, when you work on user innovation, it's close to your heart. It's something that you personally have felt it, and you have been either affected by it, or in a good way or a bad way, but you have felt that. Remove the limitations of um, any boundaries, right? Just don't think about any boundaries. Your mind is the only enemy of your mind. That's when you have to really realize that if something is confining you, if a boundary is created, just talk to yourself and just clear that boundary out. But this is something it's a self talk that you have to do. You cannot be sitting with your friends and thinking about it. You cannot be doing that. You have to sit alone, put some music on, some nice lighting, be alone and just think, right? So user innovation, I would say, that's particularly what can actually keep you very motivated or will help you in the longer run, because startups are not easy. Entrepreneurship is extremely hard. Like right now I'm facing I'm loving it. I love the problem, but it's really not easy. You will have so many days during this journey when you are on your own, there's no source of income, you have your bills to pay, you cannot ask or not want to ask your parents for support, you want to do everything on your own. It's difficult. But then once you are motivated and you really believe in the idea yourself, no matter whatever day comes, you will always stand and you will always be there with that particular idea. So Relecture is something which happened like this as well. So it's a user innovation because that's the problem that I felt. And that's something which I really, earlier there was no point of like starting all these things. I did not never knew that, okay, I'll be starting in something like this. But um, what happened is that, I mean, my journey, as I already told that, I was in college, did not want to read books. In that particular moment, we got lectured by, so a guest lecturer came in from an advertisement company, and he told us about how the agency did marketing for the movie Chennai Express. I think I was in my first semester. Yes, I was in my first semester, and I did not know what a guest lecture is. I just sat in the seminar hall with 300 people and thought, okay, चलो ये भी काट लेते हैं एक बार. तो देखते हैं क्या है. Did not know anything. And I had the habit of sitting in the front bench. I always used to, I mean, I've always preferred sitting in the front bench because jahan pe interest hai, you would also know, like people who are sitting in the front row, they are interested. They want to talk to you, interact. But back seat में तो हम mixture
चल रही है मस्ती.
वगैरह खाते रहते थे. तो I found out that whenever a professor gives me a real life example of something, like even today, I remember the day the professor gave an example, I explained what is an ERP system and how he related it with the real life example and things like that. But this person who was telling us about the marketing uh, at his organization and marketing Chennai Express as a movie, I thought ये तो book में कहीं है ही नहीं और ना मेरे प्रोफेसर्स ने मुझे कभी ये बताया. मे बी उनको भी नहीं पता होगा, हो सकता है. And that was a time when I thought this person just, I mean, I was taken aback because what he said and the way he said, it was phenomenal. I was so much sold into the idea of working at a company and being between these people who are doing things in the company with the practical exposure. I was confirmed that, listen, I really want to like do this. And thanks to the person who came up, maybe it would have been, he would have definitely been passionate about speaking or delivering a lecture, but he just, I mean, maybe he wouldn't have that gotten that exposure of how the students got benefited out of it. But it did. It made a huge impact on me for sure. I don't know about other people, but on me for sure. I just needed that. He gave me the real life example, the real life relevance of what this industry practitioner was doing in the industry.
So, Ujjwal, you've in your journey, when we were discussing earlier also, you mentioned a couple of setbacks and challenges that you have experienced in Relecture. And one of the things, obviously, you shared about some of your members, a team that was 6 members, then coming back to two, right?
Yeah.
At that point of time, what kind of doubts or questions that you had in your mind, and when you're going through all this, what is it that has kept you going? So first the challenges, and then within these challenges, what is it that has kept you going?
Sure. So every entrepreneur has suffered in different ways, and I would not still call myself as an entrepreneur because I'm not there yet. I still don't use the title of founder or CEO because I don't feel that I've earned it yet. So, and that the story behind that is the problems that you are facing, because you need to be into those problems, and only then the real entrepreneur in you will come out. And these problems can be different for everyone. Everything is unique in this world. So the biggest problem that I have had and still have is getting a developer to build the software which I want. Now, when thought, okay, I'll start up, that time it was not like, I did not even think about all these things. I thought, interns, we'll get interns, we'll make this, everything will happen, we'll get the funding. Let's do it. Let's do
And
it.
we'll rock.
Yeah, we will rock. Even today, I think that we are going to rock for sure. There's no doubt on that. But the real value of this particular sentence comes when you go through the pains. And I had this in my mind, okay, I'll go to this person, I'll speak, maybe I'll get the funding, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that. But it's very simple, right? I have decided I have to start up. This is the idea. This is the product which I am ideating for 9, 10 months. I have what it needs. I'll get the developer, I'll get few people, we'll do this. Sorry, it's not like that. It's definitely not like that. The moment, so in any company, for people who want to be an entrepreneur or want to start this journey, don't think about funding for sure. 110%. Don't even keep your mind there. The amount of time you will waste on getting investors who will be who will definitely want to talk to you. Definitely want to talk to you. Will love to talk to you. You'll also like, oh my God, investor is talking to me. Maybe I'll get some money, right? You'll always have this, but they will not invest in you because they need to see something. They need to have the validation. And what I committed in the biggest mistake that I created earlier was, I just thought, okay, I need to speak to an investor and get the investment, then build this. I think I wasted around 1 month on that, and it came with a with a good learning experience that one of my friends who used to work with me at WeWork earlier, he has his own startup now. Um, him and one investor himself happens to be a friend. He said, जितना टाइम तुम इन्वेस्टर्स और पैसे अरेंज करने में लगा रहे हो, उससे अच्छा तुम जो प्रोडक्ट है उसको बिल्ड करने में लगाओ. And I thought, okay, he said what he wanted to do, but let's see. And again, this thing that, you suno sabka karo apna. People, it's definitely something which you should definitely sign up for, which is speak to everyone, learn about everything, never stop them from saying anything to you. Never stop them. You don't know when the person will give you a gift. That gift is not tangible. It comes up as an idea or maybe a feature on your product or something. But speak to everyone, do what you feel like doing. So this person said, just build this thing. And then I started hiring for developers and business development, something which I was doing myself. One developer joined, worked for about a month. The website was not ready. So, and I was trying to be as patient as I wanted, but then that Paul Graham from Y Combinator says MVP 1 month. So I thought, okay, what is happening? So finally, that person quit. I still give him very big thanks to for working with us and like laying the foundations. But with every hire, you learn. With every people joining you or leaving you, learn. And if you really want to keep going, the biggest takeaway over here is no matter whatever happened, if that person left because of himself or any work or you, think that it is always you. It's your mistake. Willingly or unwillingly, it is your mistake. It's not something which comes to you as it is, but if you think about it, it is your mistake for sure.
Well, that reminds me of this Tony Hai, if you remember, of Zappos, the founder of Zappos.
Mhm.
And Zappos has something similar. This is one of the few companies that gives an employee choice after 6 weeks. I think they give a choice that you spend 6 weeks good enough to know the company and understand.
Mhm.
If you want to continue working good enough, we are happy to welcome you. If you want to quit, here's the $4,500 check.
Wow.
This take it, and we are happy to part ways with you. But the point which he says is that's the cost of learning.
Yes.
That we hired someone who was not fit, and that is not his mistake,
Yes.
but our mistake. And the
Yes.
check that we are giving him is not a parting or severance pay kind of a thing, but it is the cost that we are paying for learning. So that next time when we recruit, we know what exactly to look for.
Absolutely.
A wonderful experience shared, So
Right. Thanks for sharing that, sir. I think I was doing, I mean, I'm actually very happy because I think I'm doing this thing indirectly. So no matter whoever is joined, for how long they have worked, if something goes wrong, I just pause those things and say, do you really like this? Do you think you can do this? Because that is very important for me. I don't want to waste time, both the times, right? My time
and your time.
and my time and that person's time. So people need to be shaped up into that thought process, that the money which is coming on, it can come on into your account no matter, I mean, you can do anything and earn that money. But when you are doing this even as an employee, do you feel empowered? Do you feel that yes, this is something which you can definitely take up? It is extremely important for the individual and the company both. And I think it's a very interesting thing I would like to share with you as well over here is that one thing I never wanted to compromise on was with people that are going to work for the company. So by compromising, I meant to say that I don't want to waste their time. And also, I don't want to do any harm to them, no matter whether it's directly or indirectly. I want to value these people. I want to make them feel empowered that you have earned it. This is your journey. You take it from here. I will shape you for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks for sure, but it's on you. If I start wasting my time hand holding you every time, then what good will I do to the company or what good will you do for yourself? It's very important to for the employees to feel that you are invested in the idea. You can you really feel that yes, this is what is growing you individually as well, and you are learning or you're enjoying. It's very important. So even till today, if I'm speaking to any of the people who are working at Relecture, I ask them that, I think every weekend, yeah, like today, Friday as well, that do you think you are liking it? How was your week 3? Do you think it's going on well? Is this something you want to do? Because maybe right now it's going great for them, but later on, when you are confident, okay, now this person is fit, this person is going to rock the show, and you're confident, but then that's your mistake of being confident. What about that person changes their view in about 4 months? Right? So every weekend, ask your employees that, are you liking it? Do you think you can do this? Because it's good on both the parts. So this is something which I have been doing, and I want to do a better job at it as well. But got some great people on board, and I'm very fortunate for that. But again, it doesn't matter. Money is not a problem for any startup. आज नहीं तो कल मिल ही जाएगा. What matters is the people. People make it or break it. I had an opportunity to get good amount of money when I wanted to start up. But that person said, hire the people. If it doesn't work in 3 months, take my money and fire the person. I did not want to do it. I just did not. I mean, how can you be doing this? You cannot play with people's life. Um,
Exactly.
it's very bad. I mean, what kind of person will you be? You have to care about your people. If you are hiring someone, be very upfront that, see, I have, I mean, if you don't have the money, tell them that I have 6 months, I can afford you for 7 months. But in fourth month or fifth month, I'll tell you if it is not working out and give you 2 months of severance, and then you can leave. But don't play around with these people. These people do the hard work of, like supporting you, believing in your idea, taking the
Putting their
journey.
trust in you.
Exactly. It's their trust. I mean, what more can you ask from them? It's the trust, the people, the values that they're bringing, and the only basic thing that this person is liking what we are doing and wants to work with us. That's all. Two things. And then you take it as you want, but never compromise with your employees, never ever hurt them, never play around with them, no politics, nothing at all. It should be extremely transparent. And the reason of this transparency of, or the trust, or this thing coming up in a very small team of about 5 people or 10 people, it's because this is what shapes up the culture or your
Organization.
company for the 600 or 700 people who will work for you later on. So I read this very interesting post on LinkedIn that, again, I forgot the name who posted it, but uh, I read that for the first 10 employees, work as much as possible to shape, like to define the culture. Like you define the culture in the first 10 employees. It starts from 1, 2, 3, 4, but first 10, focus on the culture, because these 10 will help you to trickle down the culture into 50 people, and then these 50 people will trickle down the culture in 500. That five, like the network effect starts coming in from there, right? So like even before the idea, even before the journey that you want to take or you want to go on, or starting something, valuation, money, think if you really care about people or not. Can you work with people? Can you help them do what they want? Can you help them achieve what they want? Can you help them be better or provide the learning experience? Like even today, I really ask everyone, like, are you learning anything? Do you think you're learning? Do you think you are enjoying it, right? It's very important, because if you're not learning and you're not enjoying, and if you're just working for money,
It doesn't make sense at
let's
all.
end this up. Yeah. So apart from the challenges which I have had with the developer, I think, when you said that, when you have the setback and when you think that, okay, I mean, you get this belief, I mean, you get this thing that ye chalega ki nahi chalega, yeah, is this going to work or not? You have that doubt. The only way, and it becomes very easy if you are, I mean, I will not say easy, but like you can you can tolerate that pain or that thought in your mind if it is a user innovation, because you have felt it yourself. But in a producer innovation, maybe down the lane, if you get this thought that, okay, chalega ki nahi chalega, maybe something you really need to like look back and think what you really want to do. But whenever I have had, I think, yeah, I think I had this feeling once in December, the first week of December, कि क्या लगता है? क्या लगता है? Like, I asked myself, कि what do you think? चलेगा कि नहीं चलेगा? Gut feeling said yes, चलेगा.
Yeah,
And हाँ,
because being from the other side, what you're
yeah,
trying to do, I feel there's still a lot of gap in terms of getting the industry and academia to interact and collaborate with each other,
right,
which is a very demanding space. If you're a big institute like the IIMs or brand names, there it happens. But
right,
in smaller or lesser known institute,
right,
it is still a challenge.
Right.
I think that's what puts you on a very right track.
Right, sir.
So
Right.
definitely chalega.
Thank you so much. तो मेन so I was telling you about this, right? उस दिन मुझे लगा कि मतलब I really asked कि देखो पैसे तो आ नहीं रहे हैं कहीं से ठीक है, अभी अभी भी सेविंग्स पे ही चल रहा है, तो मतलब क्या लगता है होगा कि नहीं होगा? एंड द थिंग वाज हाँ होगा। नाउ आई थिंक कि कैसे होगा? तो आई थॉट कि अभी तक हर एक दिन जब सही होता आया है तो आगे भी सही होता चला जाएगा। So and then like that week, I think that day I was really feeling low, I guess. And what I did is that I searched for some motivational quotes.
Quotes.
I took a printout of that and I got it. I stuck it on my wall in my office. And there's something which I look at every day that which is from Swami Vivekanand. Is you have the power to do anything and everything, right? Um, and it's actually true. Like again, don't set any limits. The enemy of your brain is the enemy. Sorry, the enemy of your brain is your brain. So don't put any limitations. Don't have any. You don't confine it. Don't think anything is impossible. And honestly, like when you are very very you're very stubborn on this, like मतलब इसको तो करना ही है. So I have actually told, I think I remember when I was speaking to one of my friends and I told him कि अगर नहीं चलेगा तो क्या हुआ, उसका मार्केट बनाएंगे, इसको चलाएंगे, अच्छे से चलाएंगे. अगर डिमांड नहीं भी है तो डिमांड क्रिएट करेंगे.
Create
देन
करेंगे.
लगता है ज्यादा हो गया अभी. But I like even now I say that if the demand is not there, we'll create the demand. It will take time, but we'll do
But
this and we have to do this. There is no looking back. I'm all into this and it has to work out. Like some other, we have gotten a great response, by the way. I mean, even today, like there were 6, 7 signups that we received. And it's just like, these are the gifts that you get when you are, when you think that, okay, there is self-doubt and the nature somehow works behind the scenes.
scenes.
Yeah, and gives you the gifts that okay, चलो एक दिन अचानक से 4 ऑर्डर आ गए. तो things like that keeps on happening and then that motivates you. My business development person, her name is Anushmita. She's doing a great job, and today she got 2 leads within 30 minutes. And then I said, how do you feel? And she's like, I feel extremely motivated. Exactly, right? So, like the journey of contacting a person, even in your case, right? This journey of contacting you, bringing you onto the website, and then getting a hit on the Google sheet that, okay, this person signed up. That's like, wow, it's beautiful. You can, like,
And may you have many more such hits. You know,
sorry.
may you have many more such hits and success stories to share.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So,
Really, really means a
Ujjwal,
lot.
just before we close, you're supposed to speak for 30 minutes. It's almost more than an hour that we have been discussing.
Yeah.
Before we close, I would like you to share about your experience about the MIT innovation program that you did and also the startup school of Y Combinator. Because a lot of entrepreneurs are not aware rather about such opportunities, where you can go and hone your entrepreneurial skills
Mhm.
and also get an opportunity to interact, like you mentioned one of your experience where you got to know about user innovation and producer innovation. So these opportunities exist. If you could just speak about these two platforms which you yourself have experienced.
Sure. So there are a lot of courses or platforms like this. You also have some entrepreneur in residence sort of a program, and things like startup school from Y Combinator is something which is amazing. It makes great videos. They make great videos for every step that you will be taking in your entrepreneurial journey, right from like finding a co-founder, what to expect, equity share, and things like that, right? So you have the startup school. Anyone can sign up over there. You don't need any idea as well. Just sign up. In the place of the name of the idea or the company, just write your own name, and just see the kind of videos that are there. If you don't want to sign up for that, then you can just go to YouTube and see the Startup Y Combinator videos, and you can learn out of them. But I think it will help you when you have thought about, okay, you want us. I think 2 months before you think. I mean, it's hard to think, but 2 months before you think that you want to start up, start seeing these videos, or think about what goes into the journey. But that said, you definitely don't need to have, I mean, take these courses as well. It's completely fine. It's just something which helps you to do things in a disciplined manner, I would say. So if you're looking out for a disciplined way, more cautious way of starting things up, being cautious about each and every step that you want to take, please do see as many videos as you can. And that's something which will help you to kind of learn more and more. Now, the opportunity about the MIT opportunity, right? This is something I think I somehow got um, landed up on their website, and this MIT Innovation Leadership Bootcamp is something which was going to take place, and then I think I just applied. I think it was September, not September. I think in about August itself. Yeah, August 2020. And I was just searching out for these entrepreneurial videos or something, and I landed up onto their website, and um, it just said innovation leadership and MIT. It's a big name, and I wanted to think that, okay, let's see, let's give it a try. And I think I had about 1 month to submit the application. So I think I started on 6th of August, and 6th September was the last date. Uh, and I had completely forgotten about it. And on 5th of September, I got this notification that it's your last chance. Like, you have to, if you want to apply today, it's the deadline. I thought, okay, let's give it a try. So I think it took me about, I filled up the form from 12 to 4 in the morning. Um, and it is a very simple, yet something which helps you to know more about yourself. So the very first thing is that you have to submit the LinkedIn link of your profile. Second is there are a set of questions related to your work experience, related to you as an individual, your motivation, what you want to do, all these things. And what really matters over here is to have a structured sort of a response. It is a recorded, so you have to record the video and you have to apply for it. And I did that. So about 10 questions were there. I did that, and I submitted that on 6th. And I, I, I was sleeping, and I think on 7th or 8th of September, I just woke up just like that abruptly. At around 3 a.m. in the morning. And just like all of us, we check our phones. So no matter whenever you wake up, I woke up, looked at my phone, and I saw welcome MIT, and I was like, what is this? So I opened that and I was like, what? I got selected. It's crazy, right? What a nice gift at 3 a.m. in the morning, right? So and then when I got into the course, right, it started from the 5th of October. Yes, 5th of October to 14th of December. Now, in this 3 months, it's a very simple course. You will see a lot of different people who are trying to, basically, it is meant for people who want to be an entrepreneur, right? You don't need to have an idea or anything, but if you have an idea, well and good. I mean, it shows that, okay, you have something. But um, you will be surrounded with so many people with so many diverse experience and from all over the world, plus the coach who is going to work with you, with your small team of about 4 people. And the coach will be there. These coach will be from MIT Sloan School of Business. They will have their own startups, or like sharing their entrepreneurial journey and teaching. And then the kind of people that they get on board, I mean, I have felt buzzed after their session. The session used to be twice in a week, and then you have your teamwork, like you are engaged throughout the week, but you have the sessions twice in a week. And in those sessions, after listening to these people and learning about how they are doing these things and how we should plan our journey, I have felt buzzed. I used to call my father and say, I am actually buzzed right now. The kind of information that these people are giving me is just amazing. I would have never ever learned about all these things. And it was a very practical sort of an approach. It was not bookish at all. No books. They want you to work by yourself on these things. So I think it helped me a lot to shape up Relecture because it teaches you the disciplined way of entrepreneurship. Now, I was, I mean, it's a thing which will happen to all the entrepreneurs, and it will definitely happen with all of you who are planning to start your journey in entrepreneurship, which is you will see a problem and you will start developing the solution. That's what I was doing. It's it's a blunder. You should not be doing it. Uh, like people will spend 6 months to code uh, a software, but will not spend a week to speak to the users and people who are facing this problem. That is the disciplined way of doing entrepreneurship. So I was doing this exact same thing earlier. I saw a problem, started building something. Somehow I got lucky because everything fell into its place. I was thinking in the right direction, but it gave me more confidence about after this course that just so in a nutshell, as an entrepreneurial, be a spy. Okay, if you want to be an entrepreneur, be a spy. So let's say if one person hires a spy and says, um, I think my son is involved into uh, anything, let's say drugs, right? Or a very bad company. And I don't know what to do about it, right? So the spy will just not tell in 2 days, yes, you are right, sir. This, your son is really into this. That person will follow this person, this son, this kid. This person will, the spy will follow this kid for weeks and months and look at every pattern of when this person goes here, what time he comes out, everything, right? Step by step. And after about a month or two, this person will get back to his father and say, based on my findings, these are the things which I have found out. Okay, these are the things that I have found out. I'm not sure whether this your son is really into drugs or not because I don't have any picture of him doing this thing. But what I'm sure is about his pattern, the behavior, and mostly 70% looks like he might be doing drugs. That's an entrepreneur. Don't get into the conclusion right there. Spend as much time to speak to users. Speak, I mean, just have open-ended questions. Don't just don't like you people. We are engineered in such a way that we can get the answers to our questions. Whatever you ask, you'll get the answers. And you also know how to ask this question to answer, get the right answer,
The
like the
right
answer
answers.
you're expecting. Don't do that. Throw one open-ended question and just listen. Just listen as much as you can. Do this not with one person, and do this with, I would say, about 150 to, like, before starting we spoke to about 200 plus people. Do this as much as you can. Just be on top of following up with these people. Sir, please speak to me. I really want to speak to you. I'm doing this. Please give me your time. Right? You have to beg, borrow, steal. That is what it takes. You have to do it. So then what happened is you speak to a lot of users, and then what will happen, and I can say this with a lot of confidence, that you would have thought about A, and after speaking to these people you will pivot into something else, and then the tracks will be laid down, and then you can follow the journey. Same thing happened with us. We were very scattered, but in the right shape, doing things in the right way, but scattered. And finally on 7th of December 2020, we thought, this is the problem, this is what we have to do. And since then we have been able to generate so many leads and had gotten a great response as well.
Fantastic, fantastic. So thanks, Ujjwal. My best wishes for you and your journey forward, and may the tracks help you reach the destination which you are aiming for. And thanks for sharing your candid experiences and being honest and open about some of the key experiences that you have had over the journey since you started working, your experiences as an intern, your journey at WeWork, and then picking up the things and threads, and then culminating into your venture, Relecture. So a good interaction, it just short of time. I just hope that I don't know, but usually YouTube, if I would be able to upload it at one single go, or no, that's what the only concern that I have in my mind. With the 30 minutes, this is the first long full-fledged interview, but I'm glad that we had this discussion. So
Likewise, sir.
once
Really,
again,
thank
thanks
you.
and all the best, and we will look forward to hearing more from you probably next time when we meet. We'll have a
Definitely.
bigger success story to talk and discuss about. All the
I
best.
seek your blessings for that, sir.
Yeah, always, always.
Thank you
Thanks a
so
lot,
much.
Ujjwal.
I would just like to add one thing from my side.
Yes, yes, please.
That when it comes to education, it should not be defined or should be categorized by the facade of the institution or the tier of the institution or uh, any factors like this, right? Education should be um, available, the right opportunity, the right exposure, and the right opportunity, exposure, and learning should be available to everyone who wants to learn. Now, I would want to um, kind of convey this message to the professors. Uh, we want to empower professors who are watching us. We really have felt that the professors, they do so much for their students and also manage their home, and they there is just so much to learn from professors, and we really want to empower them. While we must have started just connecting professors and helping them to get the industry practitioner, um, but what we really want to do is build a community of professors like you. We want to empower professors like you. We want to just be there as a friend, as someone who believes and respects and also appreciates what professors do for all of us, because only after graduating from you people we start making our money, right? And at Relecture we are committed to empower esteemed professors like you, help them to bring in the right industry practitioner and bring in the real life relevance, and ultimately trickle down the benefits to the students to get inspired and find their true calling. So please visit our website. It's relecture.co. And right now we just have professors on board, but going forward we'll also try to include everyone. So thank you once again, Anthony sir, for the opportunity. Really loved talking to you, and thank you for the platform. To be honest, really, really appreciate it.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Okay, so goodbye. Thanks a
Thank
lot,
you.
Ujjwal.
Thank you.
I'll
Take
share the link soon with you.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Chalo, bye. Take care.
Take care, sir. Take care.